Hello, Don Tony, Wine Wednesdays. I am an ambassador with Boisset Collections based out of Burgundy, France. That's where it started initially through the uh, Boisset family, and the proprietor is Jean Charles Boisset. He and his family, they started their wine business in Burgundy, France, in their living room. And then they blossomed into, or at least Jean Charles himself, blossomed out into California in the Napa and Sonoma Valley areas. We also have tasting rooms and JCB tasting room in the Ritz Carlton in San Francisco, California, and I believe we have one in Dallas for sure. The rest of them I'll have to find out for sure. And what we do is our big deal is at home wine tasting is kind of like a wine version of Mary Kay or Tupperware, where you gather everyone together and you come and sample sample the wine, taste it, and that way you have a better idea as to what it is that you're going to receive or what you want to purchase in the future. It's very nice. It's very fun, and I've been doing it for a few years now. I do it just because I enjoy it. I enjoy the wine. I enjoy meeting the folks that are involved with wine tasting, and I enjoy working and talking with the folks who are involved with making the wines. So it's very, very enjoyable. Let's see, what else can I say? Did I say that I like the wine? The wine that I'm drinking right now is I gotta see, again. So every time I screw up, we're taking a sip. So who knows? As I've said the last time, I might be sober when this is over, and I may not. So we'll see what kind of day I have on this situation. It is that's right. It's a 2019 Alchemy of the Senses. And we had this last time. And this one is Knights Valley. It is Sonoma Valley wine. And it's Cabernet Sauvignon. And as you can see, it's very dark, very dense. So I screwed up so I could take a sip. So now that I've screwed up twice, remember, your wines, when they're red wines, you have to open them about 15 minutes before you serve them to give them a chance to air out and not have a very strong flavor on your palate. It won't be very heavy. But if that's something you like, that's fine. This one has a few streams. Leggy. It's kind of a leggy. Streams on there. So that's pretty cool. Let you know there's some sugar. The sugar is that's in there. But anyway, there I go. Is it an excuse to drink wine? Yes. Yes. What else was I going to say? Oh, today I screwed up because I messed up already. But this is a Cabernet Sauvignon. Going back to what I was saying with the wine is you air it out. And once it's aired, you can put it in a beautiful glass. This glass is more for your Pinot Noirs. You want something a little bit more of a larger opening mouth when you have a red wine, a stronger red wine, because you want it to air out and really get a good experience of the wine, a good tasting of it. But we'll do the swirl. That'll help air it out also. And then we're also going to take a sniff. Make sure you put your face in there, not just your nose. You put your face in there. You taste the berries on this. A little bit of little smoke, a little chocolate, a little terroir, a little bit of dirt. Remember, terroir is dirt. That's a fancy word for dirt. French word. And I've tasted it. I will taste you. Anyway, Very nice taste. Very, you can feel the weight of the wine on your tongue, but it's not very heavy. And remember, when you do it, you give a swish so you can get the sensation of the mouth of the wine all over your mouth, all inside your mouth. Anyway, as I was saying. And then let it savor. Now, what I'm experiencing is a little bit of tannins in the back of the palate of the tongue, but nice flavor in the middle of the tongue and on the sides. Very yummy. What I'm going to talk about today is we're going to talk about red wine. Some of the red wines that are commonly used. You hear the music, by the way, in my background. I do not own the rights to any of this music you hear in the background. I'm just borrowing. Did you hear me? Borrowing. It's just borrow. I'm not owning nothing. I'm borrowing, okay? So cheers to all those folks who are playing their music on this for me. Thank you so much. So going back to red wine, did you know there are several different grapes that are used for red wine? But two of the ones that are usually used are the Cabernet Sauvignon, which is known as the king of the red wine. And then next is Merlot, which is the most common counterpart of Cabernet Sauvignon. And it's a popular grape choice used for varietal wine. So in other words, if you're trying to do a blend, this would be one of the grapes that you may have in a red blend. Then the next or two red grapes that we would have are Syrah or Shiraz, same grape, almost said a bad word, but it's based on where it's planted. So we'll get more into that a little bit. Pinot Noir, Zinfandel, Sangiovese. Just in case I screwed it up, why not? Grenache and Malbec. All right. So, 10 of the grapes that we'll be discussing today will be the Cabernet Sauvignon, the Merlot. I'll give you a little bit more information about it. The Pinot Noir, the Zinfandel, like I said, the Shiraz, the Malbec, the Tempranillo, Sangiovese, the Barbera, and the Carmenere. And yes, and I don't think I had the Carmenere. So yeah, I printed it up because I can't remember all this stuff all the time. I'll just be honest. I don't know all this stuff all the time. But let's get into it. Cabernet Sauvignon, it is a noble grape variety, and it does well in humid regions. And it has become famous as one of the red wines of Medoc. Here we go, I screwed up already. Again. Which is in Bordeaux, France. And in the present day, it is grown in California, Washington, Italy, Australia, Chile, and Argentina, and etc. So these grapes have made their rounds because they're all over the place. So Cabernet Sauvignon is all over the place. It's a very good grape. Very good grape. So that's what we started out with. And then the next grape I'll talk to you about is the Merlot, and it is the most cultivated red wine grape variety in Bordeaux. It's also an important red wine grape in Chile, Washington, California, Long Island District of New York, and northeastern Italy. So, like the Sauvignon, Cabernet Sauvignon, this Merlot grape gets around. It's a sassy grape. Sassy grape. But anyway. And the next grape we're going to talk about is the Pinot Noir. And to talk about the Pinot Noir is, yeah, I got it close to me so I can see it. The Pinot Noir grape is a red grape variety in enigmatic and challenging. It is to grow in France, where small vineyard plots yield wine grape from Pinot Noir, and other regions that produce good Pinot Noir include Oregon, New Zealand, California, Chile, and parts of Australia. So this Pinot Noir grape is everywhere. And I will tell you, when I first got into drinking red wines, because I'll be honest, I started with the sweet stuff, the Moscato, the late harvest wines, like a Chardonnay, or something more like the fortified wines, like the ports, and port is not a fortified wine, if I remember. Excuse me if I'm wrong. And again, I'm going to sip, because if I screwed up, I'm going to sip about it. And California, Chile, and parts of Australia. So going back to what I was saying, the Pinot Noir, once I got into red wines, the Pinot Noir was my go-to because it wasn't very strong, and I didn't feel like I had to enjoy it. It's hard to say because, again, I began with drinking a lot of the sweeter stuff, and then I said, let me start trying something else, okay? So once I got into the reds, I did the Pinot Noir. And then I said, let me venture out and start trying something else outside of that. And I went from Pinot Noir right to Zinfandel. And didn't always have a good experience with the ones that we have. Of course, we have the best, as far as I'm concerned, or one of the better. Very good premium wines. But yes, Pinot Noir was one of my first red wines that I started to enjoy. So now we're going on to the next one, which is the Zinfandel. Zinfandel is among the oldest grapes grown in California. And so it's all written, because it's hard for me to read it in the dark, in this light. It is one of the oldest grapes in California and is highly regarded there. And it has a blackberry or a raspberry flavor, which is true. And also, for many years, wine authorities weren't sure of its origins. However, in recent years, it has been known that it is proven that it started in Croatia. So this is actually a Croatian grape, the Zinfandel. So you learn something every day, because, I didn't know that until I started reading this stuff. You get to learn a lot about something that you're absorbing, ingesting. Juice. Sorry. So the next wine we're going to discuss, or I'm going to talk about, the grape is the Shiraz or the Syrah. And it is a heavy skin, is what the grape has. It's a dark grape that grows in hotter climates. That's why California and Australia are two major producers of this delicious wine. It also excels in Sicily, Italy. While its style can vary from country to country, it is called Shiraz if processed in Australia. So anywhere else is Syrah. In Australia is Shiraz. So it's it's kind of potato. It's good, if it works, it works. Why reinvent the wheel, sort of thing. Another grape, this is my favorite, is the Malbec. So as I get into more of the red wines, and as I'm going through the experience of doing this, I experienced and ran into or met a Malbec. Man, let me tell you, It is very nice. It doesn't have a very heavy taste. It's not very heavy on your palate, but it has a nice mouthfeel. It's easy on the back of your palate. A little bit of tannin, but oh man, it's so good. I should have had that on here. I probably would have calmed down a little bit. No, not necessarily. That's not true. Not true. The Malbec wine, Grope. I said Grope. Oops. Malbec, it originates from France. And although once a major component of wine varietals in Bordeaux, it is typically used in Bordeaux to flesh out right bank blends. In other words, it helps to, I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know. If anybody does know, comment and let me know. Oh, and also, like, comment, and subscribe. Please. Thank you. Anyway, but I will tell you that Argentina and France winemakers have discovered the ideal conditions to grow this wine grape. I'm not sure what they are, because what little bit of information I pulled down for you guys, I didn't get that much, so I'll have to write it down and give you that information in the future. So the next red ripe. What? Anyway, Tempranillo. This grape, the recent data has shown that Tempranillo could be the largest cultivated grape species per acre. Can you imagine that? Per acre. So that means you can take up a whole lot of space with these grapes to grow and use for your wine. The Tempranillo also is the wine of Spain and is also grown in warmer climates in California, Australia, Turkey, New Zealand, South America, and Texas. There are strict laws in place regarding the production of Tempranillo. I will have to check out what's going on about that. Do I have a pen so I can make notes as to what I need to check out so that I won't have to forget for next time? So check. The next one is Sangiovese. It is an excellent choice for Italian and the host of Mediterranean-style cuisines. It is produced in warmer climates like Italy's Tuscany region and in California. The primary preparation style is medium-bodied with plum flavors and fresh berry included. So that's nice to know. The next grape I'm going to talk to you about is the Barbera. Not Barbara, like the woman, not like Babs or Barbara Streisand. Barbara Streisand. It is Barbera. Like Hanna-Barbera, if you're familiar with the animator duo. Anyway, this red grape is very versatile, and they go well with many dishes, including tomato sauces. And then this grape thrives in temperate regions, particularly in Italy. It is a delicious taste with silky texture and a unique acidity. And I think that's it. The last one that I had, I didn't run it off, so I do apologize. I'll make sure I do a little bit better job. So you only got 9 instead of 10. And so for that, gotta take a sip. You know, I'm going to end up being the tipsy wine ambassador instead of the Dawn Wine Wednesday. And you know what? Oh, well, it's the truth. You know, it's funny. My father, when we were growing up, my sister and I, he would call us, hey, winos. And we didn't wine. We didn't drink wine until we became adults, of course. But that was his thing. And he didn't really drink either. But here we are. He's passed on. But, you know, when we start thinking about my sister and I would talk about drinking the wine. It's like, oh, Daddy must have known that, you know, in the future we were going to be drinking wine. So here we are. We're winos. So cheers to you, Daddy. And thank you, everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed this. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and share it if you wouldn't mind. So there's 4 things. 4 things. So share it. Okay? Love y'all. Cheers and have a great week.